Mocha Marvels. Welcome to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd. And of course, I could not do this without my officially Jorge, my cafe con leche. Hi, darling.
Buenos dias, chica, and all of you Mocha Marvels.
Yeah. Listen, y'all, it has been such a week. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, lots of great things. Fluctuating weather, all that good stuff. Everything that happens in a Friday in Florida.
I know something that really was awesome that happened.
Yeah.
I know that we were celebrating 3 years, 5 seasons, and as of last Friday, we reached 100 shows. So congratulations.
Hey, we in the century.
I was like, we did what? Really?
That is amazing. And
100 times.
Do we reach? How many households do we reach?
And we reach over 10,000 households.
Say how what?
That is 10,000.
Hey. Come on, Mocha Marvels. Y'all better start spreading that flavor.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Wow. Right? I got the meeting notes. And I was like, oh, really? Is that what we're doing?
You know what? That's amazing because, we are a small shop doing big things, honey.
Yes. With big personalities.
With papers.
Big things. And also, we had the launch of the Mocha Media Network.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you to everyone who showed up to our launch and our intimate viewing party. Especially, oh my goodness, what would we do without Tanya Lewis?
Listen, honey, Tanya Lewis, passion photography. Okay, came through, captured the moments for us.
She sure did.
Tanya Lewis.
She even stayed and helped with breaking everything
down. I know.
I'm like, she is so awesome. Love her. She really captured some really wonderful moments. And I will say, she's one of those people in the community where she does not skip a beat. You know what I mean?
At all. She's always there, always on time, always giving of herself.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Tanya Lewis, passion photography and children with a vision, always doing things in the community.
All the time. Yeah. And then of course, we have Black Restaurant Week coming up.
Yeah.
Right. So I hope everyone's hungry.
Listen, I have quite a few places on that list that I'm going to try and revisit because I've visited quite a few of them, but I'm excited to support.
Yeah. And then also this weekend, there's for our folks, our Mocha Marvels in Central Florida, there's Hair She Grows.
Yeah, she grows. Hey.
I know. We're gonna see a little bit about them later. So congratulations to them. That is it's a beauty expo. So it's fashion, it's beauty, it's hair, but it's about the naturalness.
Yes, honey. Go on, Coco Dub Barber. She got me right.
It's they start from the hair and work their way to
absolutely. Listen, Tampa, Florida, the region, we're on fire with events. It's it's down to the wire for the year, right? And can you believe it? We're about to be in another year in a
right. We just got in this minute.
Right. Just getting acclimated with this year. Now here come another one. But you know what? We're thankful. We're still here.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I didn't even get to go through my my annual revision of my Christmas card list because every year I try to make it smaller.
You're like, oh, you didn't make it. Oh, you didn't make it.
And it was, and for the year before, the 4 years before this prior election, it was so easy. I was like, oh, it's gonna be easy. Gone.
He over here writing people off. Literally.
And now I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't do my annual revision.
Some folks got lucky. They're gonna get lucky and stay on the list. Listen, we have so much to cover today. But as per usual, where's your honey?
Coffee. I like to feel lean in.
You gotta lean in. I just love you. All right, welcome back, Mocha Marvels. It is time for this week's Steamers. Jorge, what you got for us?
Hey, so we have a super jam-packed Steamers section. So,
oh, you a little parched?
I know, because I'm going to be talking a lot. So let's go ahead and fall right into the Steamers.
I like what you did there. I like it.
So check this out. All right, so there's a movie coming out on Netflix, and it's called Passing. Starring Tessa Thompson. And remember her from like Thor?
Yeah.
Okay. And Ruth Negga.
Uh-huh.
Right? And so already by the title, like some people feel some kind of way, and they have a right to, because this movie does examine, what, in the Black diaspora we call passing. And that is when basically living in a white world and not really acknowledging or identifying as Black. But check this out, the film's in black and white, but like who you think, wait, should I tell y'all this? But who you think should be passing is not the one that's passing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be so interesting. I can't wait to see that.
Right?
It's going to be very interesting.
Well,
very triggering.
Just looking at the promotional images for it and stuff like that, already seems like it's like, okay, this is going to be one of those like sit down and watch this, because I mean, you know what? I still think to this day, there are probably a lot of people who feel they still need to do that.
Which is just a shame. It's really unfortunate for them.
For them, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, not for our movie Marvels. But anyway, moving right along, since we are talking about film. So I'm sure most of you saw that it was Janet Jackson night on Dancing with the Stars.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Right? Did you see her look? Oh my goodness. I mean, just all this, just giving us everything. Yeah. And it was the first time that's ever happened on Dancing with the Stars. Janet Jackson made that video appearance. And could you imagine doing like ballroom dancing and the merengue and salsa to like Nasty and Control and Escapade, and like it's like, come on, baby, let's get away. Bang, 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 bang. Right? How like doing doing a tango to like immediately. Right?
Absolutely. She's always fabulous. I've never seen her not.
Right. Anyway, so that was really fun to see Dancing with the Stars honor her and her legacy, and that Tyra, her and Tyra are friends. And, Tyra's a big Tyra Banks. That is a huge fan of hers. But this is the other thing, because we were talking about film. So like from the jump off from like the Britney Spears, like documentaries and stuff like that, like all that for Britney stuff. Well, we all know that, Janet Jackson and Britney Spears have share a very common denominator. Okay. And so, yes, we all know what that is.
Yeah.
And so now it looks like Hulu is working on a documentary that's going to re-examine the Super Bowl wardrobe malfunction. Now, there was a person who was not in the Rhythm Nation, right? That seemed to have got off a little bit scot-free on the whole situation. I wonder what direction they're going to go in, because since then, there has been a public apology, which Brittany and Miss Janet have not even had the time or to acknowledge because they're unbothered. But it'll be very interesting to see what direction they go in.
It would be, but child, listen, they're like, whatever. I got more coins and things to deal with, but I would be interested. I mean, I would assume that, do you think Janet was like, okay, yeah, let me be a part of this, or this is just...
Regardless, it was, I thought that the fallout was very sexist and misogynistic, and that is, you cannot keep a Black woman down, because you know what?
Say it one time for the people in the back. You can't do what?
You cannot keep a Black woman down. Look.
Hello.
Or her Rhythm Nation. So, look, thank you. She is still here and still running things.
He's
still in control.
At
the end of the day, Keisha, it's all for you.
I cannot with you today. I cannot. I don't even know how you think of this stuff so quick. Like,
I know, but listen, oh my God, we have to wrap this up fairly quickly because of the boss. We all know who the boss is.
Who's the boss?
Miss Ross. So Miss Ross has come out with a brand new album, and it's called Thank You. And I've actually I've listened to it, and it's so adorable. Let me tell you what I love about Miss Ross. Not only did I grow up listening to her, because she's my mom's all-time favorite, but we cleaned the house. I can
so see your mama.
Right? Seriously. Okay. We cleaned the house to Diana Ross. Everything in our house, we did everything to, it had a Diana Ross theme, background, soundtrack, period, right?
Okay.
But what I think is so phenomenal about this woman is, first of all, she wrote the book on how to be a diva, period.
Hello.
She is the original glamazon, right?
Absolutely.
But I love the way that she is openly and publicly and unapologetically with her family.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is so, the way that she 100% supports, her children and all of their endeavors. And she is just that mom. And I love that about her, because she's, she is that diva on the stage, and at the same time, you get all these really wonderful glimpses of, what she's not like on the stage. And it's so, I just love it. But it's called Thank You. And this is kind of a very optimistic and very inspirational album. And I think it's, it's to her fans. She's so appreciative and thankful. And this is kind of like a love letter to the fans, and to keep an open heart, and love is, just a very awesome message. So the boss, you allow a girl, take a vacation.
Yes, honey. She has put in the work for sure.
Right, so, and more musical stars like Missy Elliott. Okay, so this is where you lose control. Let's go now. Let's go now. Let's go now. Oh, it's really early for this. Yes, the superstar has finally received her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Okay. Something is going down, because, I'm seeing all of our favorites, they are getting their...
Right, because listen, Missy Elliott, it was Regina King. I'm like, okay, come on, Hollywood.
Trust, and there are more coming, I know. So not only is she getting her flowers, she's getting her star.
Yes.
To match her quality. So, anyways, and she's very like, I love her too because she's very open and honest about her trials and tribulations and struggles. But she's always like, like I think Missy Elliott is the type of person, like she is very girl gang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's that girl that that is your ride or die. She's because like the relationships she has with other Black celebrities who are women, like she's just that girl. Yeah, and we love her for that. And so congratulations to Missy Elliott, and more congratulations to Amara La Negra.
Ding, ding, ding.
Amara La Negra, who is one of the stars of Love and Hip Hop.
Yes.
And she was also on Sábado Gigante, right? And super outspoken about her Afro Latina-ness. Do not get it twisted with her. Well, she has 2 little Mocha marbles in her belly.
Oh, she has twins?
Yeah, she's gonna have twins. She posted pictures, and I saw the photo spread that she did, and it was very, very and I knew that was so intentional. And I recognize a lot of the cultural references because I grew up around that also, with my Puerto Rican family. And so congratulations to her.
Yeah, that's so nice. Right?
Yeah, she was just recently on the Red Table talk with the Estefans, and they were talking about, within the Latin community or Hispanic community, whatever, but congratulations to her.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now let's talk about money.
All right.
Tamar Braxton, she's making news. She has invested in a $10 million real estate project in Atlanta, right outside of a Buckhead.
Really?
Yeah, right. Pictures are up. She's saying look, this is my first time doing this kind of venture with her coins. And so basically she's investing in a gated community, which again is 15 minutes outside of Buckhead. And it's supposed to be, high and upscale. All the homes are starting at the low millions.
I did not expect for you to say that. I thought you were going to say the low 3, 2, 4.
No, she's really focused on affordable housing for people. So, which is why it's that price point.
At the low millions. No, Tamar. Try again.
I want to see what kind of gate this can be.
Hello, Golden Gate.
Okay. But what is the low millions anyway? What is that? Is it 1?
1 million? The 2? The 20s?
What? Please explain. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna live there? Or I don't know.
Maybe they have 10 houses that are $1 million, which is why it's $10 million investment. I don't know.
I don't even know. Well, I don't know. That's low millions. But I'm telling you, it's all about affordable housing nowadays. So,
please. She better start and try again.
I guess. But this is the first time she's doing this. But congratulations to her, because this is very common, with celebrities who they're trying to add to their, their personal wealth. And this is a great way. Look, we are trying to we're talking about creating generational wealth for our Mocha Marbles. So thank you for doing that, Tamar. I just will be moving it.
No, hold on. Let me make sure. Hold on, because I am looking at the before I side eye Tamar. I want to make sure we got our facts straight. So it says community plans in Atlanta, and then affordable housing in Baltimore. Maybe it's 2 different things.
Well, I just know that according to this article, if you read it on blackenterprise.com, they stated that the homes are going to be in the low millions. Maybe I need to call them. I need some clarification again.
Call her to Wanda, Tony, anybody.
Right.
And ask if they moving in.
And speaking about investing and millions, and speaking of millions, thousands attended the grand opening of the new Black Wall Street in Stonecrest, Georgia. So, yay! Why it's gotta be like one? So, there needs to be like a Black Wall Street like everywhere. And why is it gonna be called Wall Street? Why can't we just call it Black Money Street?
Well, it's because of the reference to our history and what it was called before in Oklahoma and Tulsa. So it's kind of like reviving and replicating that in different cities, which I'm perfectly fine for, and I'm perfectly fine if we rename it something else, as long as it's supporting Black-owned businesses. I don't care what you call it. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Because that's what we're about. And and those are your steamers. Everything that's happening in Black Hollywood and now Black Wall Street and entertainment.
Absolutely. And of course, Mocha Marbles. We have so much more coming up in our Piping Hot segment. Don't you go, not a place. Go get another marble. Bring them on in. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we want 10,001.
Yes. We want the low millions.
Yeah. We want some black stock.
Black stock. Oh. Welcome back, Mocha Marvels. It is Keisha Boyd, your host. We are back with Mocha in the Morning. We're adding a little flavor to your morning blend, and it is that time. That's right, Piping Hot. And listen, I could not do this without my girls, all of the melanin you ever wanted. Let me introduce my crew. Dr. Jen Dobson.
Hi, good morning. So glad to be here again this week.
Miss Liz Everett.
Hello, Mocha Marbles. It's time to slay. Make sure you wear your favorite color lipstick today.
Ooh, Kenya Woodard.
Happy Friday, everybody. It was a 4-day week, but it certainly didn't feel like it, did
it? And of course, Miss Kia Shakur.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kia, and welcome to the Mochaverse.
Yeah, I love it. Listen, we had a blast together at our viewing party, our premiere party for the Mocha Media Network. It was so good to actually be amongst everybody, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how long it's been. I don't know, that's probably the first time we've all been together.
Yeah.
Look, and I'm still eating the candy that Jorge gave, so thank you.
I'm getting candy.
It's in the bottom of your bag, Kenya.
It's in the bottom of the bag.
Oh.
So
I ate all the bubble gum. I took bags and I ate all the bubble gum out of it.
But you got a bag. There was everything in there. There was coffee from the portico. There was candy. There was Slim Jims. It was a feast in that bag.
Yes, that came through. So thank y'all so very much. It was so good to see y'all, and hopefully we'll do it again sooner rather than later. Let's jump into Piping Hot because we have lots to cover today. And let's get this thing started off. So Kim, your people at Facebook,
my people,
your people at Facebook, because you know they you real personal when you get thrown in jail and stuff. And since you've been getting so
hey, she just putting all your big
jail. Facebook jail. Kia, no, they be looking at her, they be hawking her page. Listen, they stole another name, right? What did they do now? They just bullied another company?
Yes, they basically bullied another company. And another reason why I am really hands-on with the with Facebook is because outside of me being goofy on the show and getting put in Facebook jail, I'm actually a Facebook advertising analyst. So I see people's ads, I run ads for people. And when the email came out to all the advertisers about the meta and the metaverse, we all were like, please, this is about to be some garbage, and we are just not in the mood for this entire switch. It's a big switch for advertisers to do this. Now, the other company's name is Meta. They had been going back and forth apparently for a while, and Meta kept saying, no, this is our name. We're not giving it to you. This is our name. And after a while, Facebook was like, you know what? We're just going to do what we want to do because we're bigger than you. We have more money than you. We have more lawyers than you. So why do we have to listen to you? And apparently the previous Meta, old Meta, what do we call them? Meta original? the Meta original, they want like $20 million for their name, which is some punk mess when it comes to Facebook.
They got it.
Exactly. That's some punk. That's all you wanted to claim. Old Meta is only $20 million when you could easily have gotten, I don't know, $200 million. Come on, do better.
Listen, how privileged of Facebook to do that. Okay, how bully. They're so that was a bully move. And listen, if I'm Meta and I'm claiming only $2,000 of income a month or the year, 20 million might be all right for me. I don't know. But you're right, Key. If they could have gotten 200, they should have went for that. Right, Jen?
I'm taking 20 million. Give it to me right now. Thank you.
Give it to me. I ain't got no
I will turn something else in this. I don't get 20 million. Do y'all know how big $20 million is?
I can buy a lot of Metas.
$200 million.
I'll sell my soul for 20 million. Come on, y'all tripping.
I don't know. I don't know who sell my soul for 2 million.
Okay. Maybe not that. But man, that's a lot of money.
But yeah, like producers say, it's the American way. I'll go do what I want to do. I'll pay for it later. That's how they rolling. But speak, Jen. Okay, it's talking about money. We equate Black Wall Street to money, right? It's supporting Black businesses. Thousands of people came out in Georgia and Stonecrest, Georgia for the new Black Wall Street there. Talk to us about that.
Yes, so it was over 10,000 people that came out to support. They were originally supposed to open up like Labor Day weekend, but they had to postpone it because this whole COVID thing is still going on, right? But, they had over 10,000 people come out, and their biggest goal is to make sure that minorities and women-owned business has a voice, because for those that don't know, it's not like this is the first Black Wall Street, but the first one got blown up by white mobs, basically completely destroyed like 100 years ago. So it's time for us to be able to come back and be able to have a place where we can sell our things and we can support our community, because I think that's the biggest problem in the Black community when it comes to finances, is that we have segregated, and we don't have the ability to be able to go out and find places to buy Black. It's harder and harder to find. So this is going to be really fantastic for the community.
Go ahead, Kenya. Oh, I thought you had something to say. But listen, I know before Jorge was asking, why don't we have them all over the place? I think that's a goal, right? That each city would love to do this, right, Liz?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually watched a tour of the new Black Wall Street on YouTube, and it was just so cool to see little shop space by shop space, the way people change the colors and, challenge themselves to, display their wares. And I really think it's a great way to empower the community as a whole and to really help other communities, also join in and see, hey, we can all support each other, but that the Black community can really come together and get behind the brilliant ideas that are here, because Black excellence is real.
Hello, say something loud for the people in the back, the side, and some of us right in front. Okay.
All right.
Hootie hoo hoo. All right. All right. Listen. So Kia, there is a rioter. No, Jen. I'm sorry, Jen. This rioter who was bragging, saying basically she can do what she wants. She ain't going to jail because she white.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to learn to shut up. Okay. So she should not have said that, because the main reason they gave her 60 days in jail was because she showed a lack of remorse. It wasn't even necessarily that they were giving her 60 days because of what she did. It's because of how she behaved. So you get what you get, right? Good for her. Bye. Enjoy it. Have fun.
All right. Look, good luck. All that good stuff. Enjoy the food, your vacation.
Yeah. How she gonna feel about prison cake? Prison cake is very creative. Prison food is gross.
Prison cake?
Oh, you've never had I've had prison cake before. It's weird. They mix everything together and then use peanut butter to form it into a cake shape.
You know what? Let's move on. All right, listen. No, it's a sidebar. Okay, listen. So, more serious note. Astroworld in Houston happened with Travis Scott.
Yeah.
And 8 fatalities, I believe.
Yes, happened. 8 fatalities and a little boy who's in the hospital.
And there's so many details, so many questions. It's first of all, condolences to the families, loved ones who lost someone during this tragedy. Kylie Jenner put out a statement. Travis put out a statement. Even Drake put a statement out about this.
He's on the performance list.
Yeah. So Kia, talk to us about like the things that are happening now. Like I know there's several lawsuits. There's like what could have happened to try to prevent this, or is this like repeated behavior? Like talk to us.
So real quick, Astroworld is not just one concert. It was a festival that was 2-day festival. So the reason why Drake is commenting is because he was supposed to perform on day 2 as a headliner, and Travis Scott was the headliner on day 1. So after the incident, they canceled day 2 altogether. And that's why a lot of the performers are making comments. So Travis Scott has a history of this because once the grunge movement kind of fell out, a lot of these young boy rappers picked up that whole grunge rap, mosh pits, let's play, let's rage, because he's called the king of rage. That became their whole thing. And he's had multiple instances. So here we go. 2015, he encouraged fans to jump barricades. In 2017, at an Arkansas concert, he encouraged fans to rush a crowd, and several security guard and police officers were injured. 2017 New York concert, a man was partially paralyzed after he encouraged people to jump. So that man was shoved because he didn't jump like everybody else did, and he was injured. In 2007 and 2015, interestingly enough, though, because people kept saying, oh, Travis doesn't know, he can't stop the crowd. Well, in 2015 in Switzerland, a fan, while he was crowd walking or surfing, a fan actually tried to steal his shoe. And he encouraged his fan to beat the F out of this fan and stop the concert until that person was attacked. So he definitely has a history of this rowdiness. And in this concert instance, sponsored by Live Nation, that has had over, I think it's 80 instances of people dying at their events, he had 50,000 people who were at this concert. And we old on the show. We not standing up at nobody's concert. So this was a standing room only festival where people are shoving forward. And according to sources, he still claimed after the concert, he didn't know anything about the deaths or injuries or anything. And he went to an after party. So yeah, he went to an after party. And I think at a certain point, he can't keep claiming, I didn't know, because we as people on social media, we knew almost while it was happening.
Yeah.
Because it was posted all over Twitter. So how did he not know?
Exactly. And so Liz, you know, I'm very like she said, there is like, why do you think the person, like I saw this girl climbing the ladder trying to get them to stop the show.
She was talking to a cameraman.
Yeah. But still she was trying and he did nothing. Right,
and
Liz?
You can't, correct. And you can't keep saying that you know nothing. You know, Kylie and Kendall are both getting dragged right now. And rightfully so, if I'm being honest, because they had posted photos where like the destruction happened and didn't have the sense to take them down after everything. And then also, on social media, there are several videos where it's shown that they took the 8 people out that had stopped breathing type of thing, and things have happened. They're taking people out on stretchers, and then they first remove the VIP section. And at what point do you just start thinking about people in general? And at what point do you say, hey, these patterns of behavior are not constructive? We're really seeing right now these kind of young boy rappers embodying the behavior patterns of 80s and 90s rock stars. Yes. Mm-hmm. And listen, like I'm an artist first in everything that I do. So I understand wanting to live your passion and, wanting to get paid for what you do. I understand building a brand, but when that brand maims people and hurts people and leaves them partially paralyzed, we really have to start thinking about how we operate.
So Liz, I have a question really quick. I know we have to move on, but they empty out the VIP to move the bodies to resuscitate, right? Or they empty out that side so they could have like a space, or?
I'm not sure. What I saw on the video was they're literally like, it's like a note from somebody that's standing there filming. You can see that you can see that it's like full. Everybody's on the ground, right? And you see the stretcher pass by, and then you see basically like a security guard who's like leading all the VIP folks out like the other way. And I'm just like, So
and how did he not notice the 11 ambulances that are now surrounding the area? It wasn't like it was one ambulance. It's an ambulance after ambulance, the police after the police coming in. I don't know. We have to. It's
my
too much.
my question is really for his team. You know what I mean? Like, how can you? I understand he is the performer. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand that he's the dude that's making the money. But can none of you get a hold of him mentally or physically and say, "Hey, dude, like, some of this stuff you got going on is not working"? And what is it going to take? What is it going to take for him to realize, like, you're really impacting people's lives on a mass scale? You know, because Kia, you just ran down years of things happening. You know what I mean? Years of them happening, and we don't. I mean, what's the answer?
Here's the thing, right? When you say his team and getting him to do, speaking from a publicist angle, right? We try to tell our clients, hey, for your imaging, this is not going to be a good look. You need to make this happen or change or do this or that. And sometimes they'll listen, push back, or fire. Yeah. If you're not getting on board with what they want you to do, they're like, oh, I got to find somebody that's going to be a yes woman, a yes boy, a yes man, and do everything I need them to do. You know, so people don't, you know, they either going to choose to have someone in their corner that's going to really protect them, or they don't. And then moving, you know, segueing right into this other story with this football player, this Raiders player, Henry Ruggs, who is a first year, you know, round draft pick, and his life is over. Kenya, like, he literally just destroyed his life by killing a woman because he was driving 156 miles per hour through the city. Drunk.
Yeah.
Drunk. Why, Kenya? Why would you do that?
Because he's young and dumb. My grandmother used to always tell us, you know, youth is wasted on the young. And this is a very prime example of such. And it's also just a really sad story. This is a man who can afford to, you know, anybody can, but, you know, he can have a personal car service. If you want to get drunk and tear up a town, that's your business. But when you get behind the wheel and you're impaired, you're putting everybody at risk. And that's where he went wrong. So for him to just be so cavalier, it's just so heartbreaking. And then when you add in the fact that, as you stated, he's just starting his life and now it's all of a sudden over. And this poor woman who burned alive in her car, my God.
Right. It's really sad that someone had to lose their life for your just lack of judgment. And also, like, Jen, like, how often do these players, they play their whole lives, elementary school, middle school, to get here, to make the money so they can take care of their family.
Right.
So now what happens to the family?
Exactly. And a lot of times they've already spent the money that they haven't gotten yet. So now the entire family is going to be upside down and burdened by this. And, and don't get me wrong, I think it's a lot of responsibility on I think he's 22-year-old. So it's a lot of responsibility, but somebody should have been in his corner saying, hey, you should Uber because you have enough money to do that.
But when you're drunk, high, or both, you don't think practically.
No, exactly.
That's just what it is. That's just
what it is. And
how
is he going to afford the lawyer that he needs to not get a lot of jail time? He can't afford now. He can't afford it.
No, I mean, he going to jail, under the jail. Trust.
And no, he's going to jail. It just determines if he's going to jail for 5 years or 25 years. That's where the good lawyer comes in at.
Right. Absolutely. All right, y'all. Listen, we've got a little bit more piping hot left, and we'll take a break and come right back. Don't you go anywhere.
Hey Mocha Marvels, it's your girl, the Fun Foodie Mama. I am here to let you know about Black Restaurant Week. It's here. It runs Friday, November 12th through the 21st. It's your chance to learn about African American food, Caribbean food, and African food. I'm so excited about this week. Please go out and support your favorite local Black-owned restaurants.
All right, Mocha Marvels, we are back with more piping hot. Listen, ladies, let's get into some of the most talked about things happening and people and lookers. Okay. So Will Smith, all right, King Richard is coming. His book is here. Okay. His book is here. He kicked off this week with his tour, and he is really, really getting into some deep issues and things that he's faced, right? And so he was talking about considering killing his father for abusing his mother, which is deep. And I told you guys on our production call, like, it was really close and similar to what we saw in The Harder They Fall, which is like, you know, these young men want to protect their mothers, who, like, of course, it's a natural thing. And so when their mothers are hurt or someone in their family is hurt by someone, they want to get the revenge, right? So Will is talking about that. He's talking about his son wanting to be emancipated. Like, let's first talk about that part, the emancipation. Like, Kia, you're shaking your head. Why are you shaking your head?
I'm shaking my head because that movie sucked. The movie sucked, but that was it. It was just a bad movie. The way he acted, the way Will portrays it, it's almost like Jaden had been a child star his entire life and found out that his parents were stealing his money, and I want to be emancipated to have control of my future and finances. That's how he's acting. And that's not what happened. Your father put you in a movie that he thought was going to do well, and it just didn't do well. I mean, it happens to actors all the time. We all know actors that do bad movies. Hate to bring these people up again. Gabrielle Union, Michael, like all these people, they have horrible movies and we just keep supporting them. You don't need to be emancipated because you did one bad film.
I agree, but I
After Earth, it was called After Earth.
I didn't think After Earth was that bad, personally. I didn't. You know, Kia apparently thinks it was horrible, but I didn't think it was that bad. Jeez. Kenya, okay, so the young man, Jane didn't need to be emancipated because of one bad movie. We agree. Now, Will said that if he killed his father, he would give an Academy Award level performance, and they would never believe that he did it if he called 911. True?
He's right. He's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what would he say? What would he say? Who knows? But they wouldn't. I believe, like, he really, really, really thought about this, like how he could do it and get away with it. That's scary. Like, super scary, Liz. Like, that takes some mental.
It takes some real creativity, because you had to really think about how to develop that character. So it makes me wonder if he's eventually going to maybe write a movie where, that character that he invented to be him, I mean, this, we all know this is how creativity works. You know what I'm saying? Something happens in your life, but it would be a great precursor. So maybe he already has something in development. Like, I'm just,
if Jada comes up missing, we know who did it.
Oh, wow.
It's true.
The views expressed by Kia Shakur are not the views of the rest of the cast of Mocha in the Morning. Disclaimer. Continue.
Well, Keisha, as a celebrity publicist, you know that people have to stay relevant, and that's what Will and Jada have been doing.
Yes.
And you also know that if he has a project coming out after this, it would be smart of him to mention, all what he was thinking for character development.
Absolutely. I do agree.
Wait a minute. We can. It's premeditated murder, y'all.
Murder. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
But let me just say that this is fascinating, right? Because we've never seen this much of Will Smith. He is revealing so much about himself and his life. We know that his parents weren't mom and dad. They were daddy-o and mom. He's, sharing with us these thoughts that he had about, this instance with his father and how he carried that throughout his life. And he tried to find a way to make up for, not being there to help his mom. And for those of you who are here, who are parents, I mean, my God, to, have your son come to you and tell you he wants to be emancipated from you. I mean, I just can't even imagine, the hurt. I'm excited for this memoir. I love autobiographies, biographies. I love this kind of stuff. And this is making up for that lackluster memoir we got from Mariah. I love you, Mariah, but it's making up for that lackluster memoir we got from her last year. So I'm here for it.
Jorge gonna get you.
She's not Janet or Serena, so she's okay. But listen, speaking of, that's right into the thought that we were talking about, right? Protecting your mother. If you watch, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen The Harder They Fall, skip past this, okay? So in The Harder They Fall, the same character, something like that, right? Where, this character develops at the end, I'm like super shocked, right? It just changed the whole movie for me. I was like, what in the, it's kind of like, God darn it, Rufus Buck, But listen, speaking of Harder They Fall, The Harder They Fall, they've been getting a lot of flack and conversation around the portrayal of these characters and how they don't match up to the real characters. Now, Liz, let's talk about this and what the problem is. What are people saying? What's the issue?
Well, first of all, Hamilton, right, was historically inaccurate in a lot of places. So what's the difference? First of all, let's be glad that people are getting into history, period, right? And if people are so interested, they should go read those people's memoirs and all those other things themselves, because it is on each person to educate themselves. Now, I also do believe that, for instance, like in the production meeting, we were talking about how my brain just totally left as far as the character's name, but she could have been portrayed by
Stagecoach Mary.
Stagecoach Mary. And we were talking about the other people that could have portrayed her to make her a little bit closer to her actuality. On the other hand, in this particular case, and this is a one and only case for me, I can almost guarantee you, I am just glad to see Black people being portrayed in a really cool light in a movie that made me, as a little girl who grew up on a ranch with a Black cowboy for a daddy, right? It made me see myself on screen, and I was so excited. Like my 5-year-old self was like, wow, like this is a Western for me. And I wanted to be a barrel racer when I grew up. Too bad I was 5'9". I'm too tall. But anyways, you know what I mean? Like it was exciting for me, period. You know what I mean? To see myself on screen riding a horse, to see somebody that looked like my dad. Idris Elba looks a lot like my dad did. So I was just like, what? Kia, turn away. I saw that turn, girl. Yes, you can come and watch all these gorgeous Black men in my family ride these horses. My dad actually rode stunt in a movie one time. Like, we're a cowboy, football, and Jesus family. And for me, like, yes, there are historical inaccuracies. Yes, things could have been different. But thank God for stories of Black families and Black people being represented in different ways, and for them being done so artistically and beautifully. So bravo.
So Kenya, speaking of Stagecoach Mary, right? Like, I know you said, so the issue is that Zaza Beetz is light-skinned. Zazie Beetz, okay. She's light-skinned. She's smaller in frame. There are other people who could have played a closer match to Stagecoach Mary.
Yeah, Wunmi Mosaku is one actress that comes to mind. She was the sister in Lovecraft Country. Beautiful woman. She could have played, this Stagecoach Mary character. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't a biopic, and we kind of established that on the last show. This wasn't supposed to be an exact matchup. My issue is that when there are chances to have dark-skinned women, full-figured women in prominent roles in an all-Black movie, why not? I mean, could the director have not reimagined the role of Stagecoach Mary to be a full-figured, dark-skinned woman? I mean, I'm just asking the question. I love the movie. I watched it. I will watch it again. I think it's really fantastic. I agree with Liz. I'm not a Western fan, so to see this movie done as beautifully as it was, it's still a win. But I think the problem is that we keep having to ask these questions about, why is it that we're not seeing atypical Black women in leading roles in prominent movies with these huge, great ensemble casts? I just don't think it would have been too much trouble to cast someone who was a full-figured, dark-skinned woman as Stagecoach Mary.
Okay. Kia.
There's always going to be a problem. No matter what happens, no matter all Black cast, it's always going to be, well, why didn't they do this? They should have had this person look like this. This person should, why not a thicker girl? Why not a darker person? Why not? It's always going to be that. So I don't have the energy to talk about that, but I will say the Easter eggs in the movie were super cool. If nobody noticed, the train was C.A. Bozeman, which was a shout out to Chadwick Boseman, which was a beautiful tribute. If you notice, the cities and the town were actually, people might not have noticed this, but they were named after famous real celebrities in real life, like the Carter and Carter store, general store for Beyonce and Jay-Z. There was another one that was the Morgan's Mortuary, something after Morgan Freeman. Like there was all these little things that he did, the music that tied in directly, like they were riding to the beat on purpose. Like he did all these cool things, and the film was really beautifully done, and the story was good. The story wasn't a typical, we're just shooting him up, because by the end of the movie, you didn't know who to root for. You felt bad for Rufus Buck because he had a crappy childhood. You felt bad for Nate Lugg. Like, well, I'm spoiling this, your family, but you killed my parents. Like, what are you, well, it was good because you didn't know who the bad guy was. And no offense to anybody else, I kind of wanted Trudy Smith to win that fight because she's Trudy Smith. She's treacherous Trudy. She should have won that fight. And she did. She's alive. If anybody, saw the ending, she is alive. So there will be The Harder They Fall Part 2, probably called Trudy's Revenge. Who knows?
You can put out all the spoilers.
Yeah, you should watch it already. We are a week out. You should have watched it already.
Out. Yeah. If you ain't watched it by now, it's your fault. Gosh. All right, listen, y'all. Last but not least, we want to send a sincere prayers up to R&B singer Christopher Williams, who is reportedly in a coma. So we are sending prayers to him for a speedy recovery. Other than that, y'all, this has been one piping hot segment as expected. Okay, when you have to put a disclaimer because one of your people be talking. Okay, always Kia Shakur, but we love her for that. That's what she's here for. Okay, ladies, I love you. As usual, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Mwah, 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 mwah. Kiss all the babies and everything. We'll be right back. Actually, as a matter of fact, take a look at this week's Mocha Minute. What's up, guys? It's your girl Kia, and we are back for Insecure Cafe. We are so excited to talk about this episode. Here's what's happening this episode. We got to see how Issa progressed, and now we are seeing how Lawrence progressed. And we all remember Condola got pregnant at the end of last season. So we see Lawrence, he's out here being Mr. Professional, the great apartment, he's going on dates. In the middle of a date, he finds out that Condola gave birth to their child. He leaves the girl sitting there who looks completely confused, what I feel like all of us would be, and he rushes to the hospital to see the birth of his child. As soon as he walks into the hospital room, Condola looks surprised, like, why are you here? She's getting flack from the very hilarious Keke Palmer, who's just like, you a deadbeat, why are you here? And the only person welcoming was the mom. So let me ask you, Keisha, do you think he had no involvement from the time we saw them have the I'm pregnant conversation to the birth? Do you think there was no conversation at all? It seems like it was a situation where they may have been texting. Oh, I went to the doctor today. Oh, I this. But it doesn't seem like they had a plan together, or that she really expected him to be a part of this baby's life. That's what it seems like. I mean, I was glad, you know, this episode was a little tricky for me. I was super glad to see Layla Rashawn on the screen. And, you know, and she was welcoming, you know, to him, because I mean, what parent doesn't want their grandchild's father to be in their lives? Like, they want the best for the kid. Yeah. I just think that Condola is, she just wasn't, I don't think she planned for him to be there.
No, I don't think she planned for him to be there either. So we see Condola give him the baby and holds the baby. And of course, like most fathers who say, you know, like Lauren said, just give me updates, or, you know, whatever little super conversation they had. As soon as he held his son, I knew, I'm like, now we got a problem, because now he wants to be involved. Now he's going to try to be a halfway parent or whatever, because he already had an issue with the middle name. Now, to Jen, should he have even been consulted about that child's name at that point, if they haven't had any real conversation?
I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. Like, he should have had some level of involvement. I know that the conversation between them was that despite what he felt, she was going to have the baby, right? So I think he felt kind of like, well, this isn't what I wanted. And so she kind of took everything over, like, I'm just going to do everything. But they should have had a conversation. He should have had an option to have the middle name or something. It was just really odd that he had no involvement until that baby was born. Strange.
Well, she gave their son Elijah Mustafa, which, Lord have mercy. They gave him his last name, and, you know, he should feel privileged by that. But let's fast forward a little bit. We see them trying. He's out here buying cribs and stuff, and they go to the baptism, and Lawrence, now thinking he can be involved, is now just like, okay, now that I'm here, let's do all this family stuff together, and you guys can come stay for a week. And Condola's looking at him like, what world are you in? Shalette, was she wrong for trying to make him rethink? Like, we're not there yet, sir. What are you talking about?
I think Condola was it was the shock of it all for her. I think from the beginning, whenever she found out she was pregnant, and he was kind of probably disconnected while she was pregnant and expecting him all of a sudden wanting to jump in and be a family man or a father, that was pretty shocking to her system. And clearly throughout the episode, it took her time to even trust him with his own baby. So I wasn't surprised. It's kind of a natural reaction, especially a new mother of your first child. You know how you are with your first child. But I do think, you know, there has to be some give and take. This is this man's child.
Yeah, I think Condola made her bed a bed that she wasn't comfortable in lying in. This is kind of her fault, and she just didn't want to do it. So they go to Tiffany, and I don't know what her husband's name is, not important. Go to the baby shower, the baby's first birthday. And shout out to their friend, whose name I can't think of either. Oh, I'm sorry about names, guys, who was the host. It was beautiful. And they have a fight about little Elijah getting solids, where she said the pediatrician said we could do it between 4 and 6 months. She's like, I had a different plan. This is where the messed up co-parenting comes in now, where they're on a completely different page. Keisha, we both are parents, and the solid food thing is a joint conversation. It's who they did not have that conversation.
I'm a parent.
Yes, it's a joint conversation. Yes, and yes,
Jen has
a grown child. Okay, but yeah, I mean, it's been a while since your baby was eating salads as a baby, Jen. But anyway, listen, the conversation is a parental conversation, unless the grandparents are involved. They do what the hell they want to do, right? But okay, so here's my thing on it. Everything should be discussed as parents. But it wasn't the end of the world. The baby got a solid. Like, she was tripping because the thing is, like she said, she does not trust Lawrence. But I also think Condola's confused. I think Condola still wants to be with Lawrence.
Yes, Condola wants to be with Lawrence. And that's how we fast forward to the last scene. That is the most pivotal scene, because we do have them showing their different lives. Her stressed out taking care of the babies. He out here dating and having sex and having a great time. And the final scene, he comes to pick up his son, and she has a meltdown. She has a legit meltdown as a mother. And I think they didn't point out that she might have been dealing with some postpartum, but she has a meltdown. And Jen, can you speak to that conversation of two people who aren't together, who don't trust or respect each other, trying to be co-parents?
Well, the problem is that, you know, she has to understand that that's the baby's father. She has to relinquish some control, whether she likes it or not. And if she doesn't, he could take the baby, he can go to court and get half custody of that child. So they have to come to some level of agreement. And I think she's realizing, like, I can't do this all on my own. I need some help.
She can't. And something he said that a lot of people thought was so messed up. But Shalette, when he said, I will get my child with or without you, I personally was with him. I was like, well, there it is. Now this is condolence. This is how you got to get it if this is what you want. Shalette, was he wrong for saying that?
Oh, God, no. Like I said, this is this man's child, and he's making strong efforts. He's flying down. He's flying back and forth from like whatever, San Francisco to LA to come see his child. And that was too much for me. Whenever she broke down and had that whole thing, yeah. So I'm gonna hit you. Yeah, we're gonna do this properly. I'm gonna hit you with some legal action.
Yeah, but we're glad. I'm glad that at the end they ended up having a grown person conversation. But I get why Issa was nowhere near this episode, because she wanted nothing to do with this drama. And I'm glad she didn't go to the baby's birthday, because we love Issa, and Issa doesn't deserve this. So yeah, that was a quick rundown, guys. We're just like blasting through because our producers only give us 7 minutes, but we will be back next week for the next episode of Insecure Cafe. Please watch if you want to hear your comments, and we want to get you involved. So we'll see how Issa's vacation goes with Molly next week. Yeah.
Get involved.
See you later, guys.
All right, Mocha Marvels, that is the show today. We had a blast, per usual.
That's it? Is that all? Oh my goodness.
That's it, honey. That is it. That's all. Listen, don't you go anywhere, because the Mocha Media Network has so much more coming behind our show. We have the Fab Lab coming right up.
Right, and they're going to be talking about fall fashion, trends, and style.
Oh, yes. All right. And then after that, we have the Valtrinda Show.
Your headquarters for a melanated mental health.
Yeah, so don't you go anywhere. Like always, you want more Mocha Marvel for the Mocha in the Morning Show. So share with your friends, your family. Go find us, follow us, and watch every Friday. We're so excited and cannot wait to see you next week.
And don't forget that this weekend is Hair She Grows, happening in Central Florida. The link is on the screen. Don't forget, we also have the Mocha in the Morning Tennis Invitational. So you want to totally sign up for that. I mean, there's going to be tennis. We're going to provide lunch, and then we're going to watch a screening of King Richard. I mean, that's all I got, girl.
That's all you got. Okay. All right, Mocha Marvels. Have a wonderful weekend. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye.
Hey, enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Yes.
We was looking good up on that stage too.
Weren't we?
And we took the whole stage. It was
the whole stage, honey. The growth.
I know. People, what's
get it.
Oh, I love Mochaverse. That is cute.
That is cute. We got to use that. Thank you, Kia.
Yes.